God damn. Stop. Wow. What?
I mean, even the road textures don't come in. Oh yeah.
SIE will also be removing Cyberpunk 2077 from PlayStation Store until further notice.
I mean, for me, this is not acceptable. I would never want to play the game this way. It's terrible.
Oh man, I can tell already. What the hell? Instantly, like honestly, straight away, looking into that mirror, it looks so jaggedy. Like, look at the hair. Oh my.
The CD Projekt Red founders lost $1 billion.
Holy
billion.
Wait, what? Come again?
The tumbling
$1 billion.
The tumbling
lost.
share price of CD Projekt has cost the Cyberpunk Studios founders more than $1 billion in wealth.
This footage was captured on the PlayStation 5 via backwards compatibility, playing the PS4 version, albeit being 60 FPS instead of the usual 30. Man, I had so much faith in this game. CD Projekt Red, one of the most reputable AAA gaming studios in the industry, known for being transparent and consumer friendly. Their last game was The Witcher 3. It was highly praised, Game of the Year material, probably Game of the Decade, and to see their reputation come crashing down like this, along with a lot of money, it's just sad to see, man. And it's all frankly due to poor management decisions. The fact that they decided to announce this game very early into development, all the way back in 2013. The fact that they put time crunch on their employees months ahead of the release, delaying the game 3 times, focusing on the PC port instead of the console ports, which make you way more money. That part makes no sense to me. It's just wasted potential, man. Because if you just play the game disregarding the bugs and glitches and crashes, it's honestly a pretty solid experience. I wouldn't put this in the discussion for best games ever because there are some underlying issues that I'll talk about later that go beyond the bugs and glitches, but still, the setting is unique for a video game. It is captured perfectly, the whole cyberpunk aesthetic, mixing retro with the future, is very nicely executed. And the story, the characters, especially Keanu Reeves, he makes his character very interesting. He puts a lot of charisma in his character. He really makes you want to know his backstory, and including the other characters like Jackie and Judy and Panam. You get very invested in these characters, just like with The Witcher 3. However, the terrible AI, okay, the police, they spawn out of nowhere and they don't have the ability to chase after you in cars and helicopters and stuff like that, when GTA 5, a game 7 years ago, could do that. So basically the AI are very dumb. You can't start conversations with people on the sidewalk. They'll just say one-liners like fuck you and just leave and probably disappear, as I've sometimes experienced. The driving is pretty clunky. If you go from driving in GTA to this, you'll instantly tell that it's just not that polished in this game as it is coming from GTA 5. In the gunplay aspects, I don't feel like the hitboxes are very accurate. I do miss a lot of shots that I feel like I should have hit. The melee combat is nauseating. The way the camera moves while I'm trying to fight someone just hurts my head. The minimap is way too zoomed in when you're driving. All of a sudden, I have to turn right, but I missed that turn because I'm going way too fast. I've played this game around 15 hours, and I've tallied a total of 12 crashes, which is pretty much 1 crash per hour. That is unacceptable. And apparently with a new patch 1.06, people are crashing even more often than before. So again, I am playing on the PS5. It's basically the PS4 version with a 60 frames per second enhancement. The true next gen versions of the game are coming out sometime next year, and those will reflect the current PC version that is out right now. If you compare side by side the console version to the PC version, the PC version looks infinitely better. That looks like a next gen game. The lighting is more realistic. There's more fidelity in the textures and characters. The colors just pop more. And of course you got the ray tracing with the reflections and all that. I see a lot of people on Twitter and other places saying that this game should not have been released for the PS4 and Xbox One. But honestly, I think it was just a matter of optimization, because all you gotta do is look at games like Ghost of Tsushima, which released at the tail end of the PS4's life cycle just a couple months ago. And one of the main things that people rave about that game is the graphics, how it looks like a PS5 next gen game, but somehow it's able to run at a stable 30 frames per second on the 7-year-old PlayStation 4. You can also look at a game like GTA 5, which released at the tail end of the Xbox 360 and PS3's life cycle, and it was able to run at 30 frames per second on those consoles, and it never dipped below 25 frames. And you also consider that they had 512 megabytes of RAM. Think about that. 512 megabytes of RAM, and the game never ran below 25 FPS. That's GTA 5, which was a state-of-the-art game and a revolutionary game when it came out. The early reviews did not feature last-gen console footage because they were not allowed to. CD Projekt Red never actually showed any footage of the base PS4 and Xbox One. I actually thought they did. There's a video where I thought they showed it, but it actually showed the PS4 Pro versus PS5 and Xbox One X versus Xbox Series X. So it showed the upgraded versions of those consoles instead of the base consoles, which I'm actually appalled. They never showed that, because the majority of people who buy these big budget AAA games are on those platforms, and they never showed gameplay for those platforms because they knew that the game wasn't optimized. Plain false advertising. And CDPR, they've already apologized for a lot of this stuff. They've admitted to neglecting the last gen console ports. You can just see how all this can just build up to a class action lawsuit. I really can see CDPR taking huge legal losses here. This is their fall from grace. They used to uphold such a high and respectable reputation within not only the gaming community but within the gaming industry. With the other companies like Sony and Microsoft, they trusted them to put out a good product, and they failed. Now imagine if Cyberpunk came out with none of the optimization issues, none of the bugs, none of the negative press that was associated with it. It would be touted as a true next-gen game, a genre-defining experience, 9 out of 10s, 10 out of 10s thrown everywhere, game of the year, revolutionary. This has to be, when you consider the magnitude of what happened, this has to be the biggest flop, the worst game launch of all time. I thank you guys for watching my video. I'd really like you to express your thoughts and opinions on this subject in the comments down below. I like replying to comments. I like looking at comments. Make sure to subscribe as well. I'll have a lot of videos like this talking about video games, reviewing video games. I know a lot of you gamers like technology as well, so make sure to subscribe to that too for unboxing and review videos of tech. So yeah, have a great Christmas, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.